Hi Wildings, welcome back to the Wilding Tarot YouTube channel for another kind of fun, interesting, little bit different kind of reading based on some of our upcoming astrology to do with the full moon. I'll do a full explainer in a moment. Obviously I'll have to kind of explain what's going on astrologically, which I'll put a separate timestamp for, and then how to get the best out of your tarot reading today, which I'll put as a separate timestamp as under like explainer or something like that. But yeah, I'm very excited to read for you today. There's definitely some very interesting energies coming up in this full moon that have a lot to do with us. Obviously, we care about Gemini energy here. I'm a Gemini midhaven. Gemini rules the Lovers card, so when there's any sort of Gemini influence on a moon, I'm always very interested. Our full moon is happening at a Gemini degree and I'm just so excited, but I'll get into the full explainer in a moment before I get carried away here, which I often do, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay Wildings, let's get into today's video. So again, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit as I explain how this reading's going to work, because like our Mercury retrograde reading, this one's going to be very specific based on your personal astrology, which should make it more detailed, definitely more accurate. But yeah, to understand what kind of reading you're going to get and why you need to go to a certain pile, it helps to kind of know what's happening astrologically with the next full moon, which is kind of the basis of this reading. We're going to see what's going to come up for you guys based on this Cancer full moon energy. So what's really interesting about this Cancer full moon on Tuesday the 18th of January is that it's happening at 27 degrees 51 seconds in Cancer. So it's happening at a Gemini degree. And then when the moon moves into Leo a few hours later, it will sextile the current north node in Gemini. So basically this full moon has a very Gemini flavor. We know that Gemini is a heavy energy of communication with other people, as well as communication with the divine, like really thinking things through. It also rules the Lovers card in the tarot, so it's got this like Lovers card flavor to it, which I'm super interested in to see what comes out for our reading. Obviously the main energy, or when the moon is at its peak, it will be a very Cancer-y energy, which is equivalent to this Chariot card in the tarot. And so what's interesting is the Chariot often talks about like changing and moving, and definitely moving from a place where kind of the ego and the childhood trauma isn't in the driver's seat. It's definitely in the passenger seat, in the back seat even, and kind of moving forward from a very kind of heart open, very like evolved higher self kind of place. So these two energies together is super interesting. We have kind of like divine counterpart energy and then moving from a very spiritual place energy. So yeah, very interesting energies. The Cancer full moon will also be happening in opposition to a Capricorn sun and a Pluto Capricorn. So Capricorn is like very 10th house, Saturnian, kind of paternal energy. So I would say that the feminine energy will be quite strong during this full moon, because yeah, the sun is a very kind of masculine placement, and the Pluto energy that's conjunct that sun will like kind of intensify that Capricorn sun energy. Cancer is like the most feminine maternal energy in the zodiac, and Capricorn's kind of the most daddy paternal energy. Same with the 4th house versus 10th house, same with the moon versus Saturn placement. Like they're very opposite, mammy, daddy, pappy kind of energy like that. So yeah, it's definitely this very interesting opposition, especially because on this channel we do talk a lot about masculine and feminine energies. We talk a lot about polarity. We talk a lot about divine partnerships, which yeah is basically kind of the theme of this upcoming full moon. So yeah, we've got lots of kind of energies which I've picked out of my zodiac for you to see, and kind of like to ground you back in those energies as you're getting your reading, so that you can kind of anchor them to certain energies. So definitely expect a lot of kind of 3rd house communication, thinking, basic function themes to come out. Definitely expect a lot of 4th house, home, family of origin, conditioning, inner child stuff to come out. Lots of kind of Cancery feely feels, sensing energy, lots of Gemini kind of thinking, communication energy. And then this North Node, the North Node is a very like strong life purpose energy, but it's a very kind of like fate, destiny, like it's a very powerful energy. So yeah, I'm kind of expecting like powerful things to happen kind of for the greater good of some people during this Cancer full moon. Yeah, so I'm very interested to see how this North Node energy kind of plays into everything. So kind of with the background out of the way now, you're going to need to pick a card. So as I mentioned, to pick a card for this reading, it's going to be based on your personal astrology. Like if you do want to pick a card based on your intuition, you are so welcome to do that. Or if you're going to choose a reading based on kind of other reasons, that's so fine. But for the intention of this reading, I'll let you know what pile to go to based on your rising sign. If you don't know your time of birth, so you don't know your rising sign, you can always check your sun sign, because usually that will be pretty accurate. I find not as accurate as the rising sign, but like definitely close enough. So basically, depending on where your Cancer full moon will be in your actual natal chart, will depend on kind of the flavor of this full moon for you. So in the first pile, it will be all of the rising signs that have their Cancer energy in a house of love in their natal chart. So that'll be Taurus risings, Pisces risings, Capricorn risings, Sagittarius risings, Virgo risings, and Aries risings. You're all going to get this love reading, so this first pile reading, because your Cancer full moon is most likely to be mostly directed at love, relationships, definitely Gemini, twin flame, divine counterpart energies. If you're in this second pile, it'll be everyone who has your Cancer placement in a kind of more career and money orientated house. So that will be Gemini rising, Aquarius rising, and Libra rising. So how this new moon will affect you will kind of more have to do with your career, your bank account, and not so much to do with love. And then if you're in this final pile, this full moon will have most effect on your kind of personal self based on your Cancer sign being in a personal house. So that's Cancer rising, Aries rising, Scorpio rising, and Leo rising. So for Aries rising, you can be in the first or last, like you might have heard Aries rising get put in both. I would suggest that if you're currently in a long-term committed relationship, to go with pile 1. If you're not, to go to pile 3, because it's likely that because your energy is happening in the 4th house of the home, it's much more likely that this will affect you more on a personal level if you're uncoupled, whereas if you're coupled, it's more likely to kind of be a more love life energy. So based on your rising sign, heading to either pile 1, 2, or 3, if for whatever reason you got a little bit lost during that, I'll repeat the instructions in the description box and do a little reminder of which pile you should be going to based on your rising sign or sun sign if you don't know your birth time, to get a reading today for this full moon, which will have heavy Lovers card and Chariot card energy. This is kind of like one of the main energies I'm expecting to come out of our reading today. So yeah, whenever you're ready, going ahead and heading to pile 1, 2, or 3, and wherever you end up, I will see you there in a moment. Hey Taurus risings, Pisces risings, Capricorn risings, Sagittarius risings, Virgo risings, and Aries risings. All of your Cancer new moon energies are going to be happening in your 3rd, 5th, 7th, 8th, 11th, and 4th houses, which all can have a lot to do with love, especially this being such a feely feels Gemini kind of Lovers card, Chariot card kind of energy. It's likely that this full moon, will affect you when it comes to love. So we're going to do a love reading for you guys to see kind of more specifically what's going to come up for you. Obviously, this is happening in different houses for everyone, so if you want to check the description box, I'll kind of leave a few buzzwords of what your Cancer full moon house is likely to bring you more specifically, so that you can apply those kind of themes to our reading. If anything's kind of a little bit vague or unclear to you, you can kind of insert the themes of the house that this full moon is happening in for you, based on your natal chart. So without further ado, we're going to get into this reading. I'm just going to pop these cards back in. Probably should have done that off camera. Can we please have messages for these rising signs when it comes to love, please? We have clarity on this devil energy, please. Okay, just lost all my cards. I'm gonna have to pick those up. So because we have this Two of Cups, Two of Wands, and Knight of Cups all coming out, it's very likely that, especially if you set an intention around the new moon to manifest a new love or to call in a new love, especially a deeply romantic connected love, that this full moon in Cancer is going to be activating those energies, especially given that this particular full moon is a heavy Lovers card / Chariot card full moon. Like, they're the major arcana that are going to be active. They're the energies that are going to be active. Like, it's very possible that a new person could come in, or the person that you've been manifesting could come in. It's definitely a heavy opportunity for those wishes to be fulfilled, especially if your Cancer sign in your natal chart is in your 3rd, 7th, or 11th house. They're like kind of the heaviest energies that this will be active for. So Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo risings. Obviously, the other signs too, for sure. The 5th and 8th houses, so Pisces and Sagittarius. If this isn't a full-blown romantic thing, it'll be probably more of like a sexual thing, or just like some sort of flirtation or like kind of cute kind of little moment for you guys. But yeah, I would say for the majority of people here that it will be kind of the person that you're manifesting at the moment. The full moon is a powerful energy for calling in what it is that we're manifesting. And if you had an intention around the new moon, even if it wasn't super conscious, of calling in a new partner, then it's very likely that this full moon will either bring this person directly to you or create lots of opportunity within yourself to call this person into you. So if this person doesn't manifest, there'll be some sort of opportunity presented to you to align with who it is that you're manifesting. Especially with all of these energies upside down. This star card is heavy wish fulfillment energy. And the Four of Cups right way up is also heavy wish fulfillment energy. Devil card as well a little bit, but it's more, this Devil card's more about having the right experience and knowledge in order to manifest your wishes, because it's a heavy Capricorn energy, and Capricorn essentially does the work to get their manifestations, like a lot more than any other sign. So these are the energies that I would say that if your person doesn't manifest at this full moon, like these energies will be saying that some sort of opportunity to align with your manifestation will present itself around the full moon. And probably for everyone here, like it'll be a pretty similar theme. I would say that the theme of kind of trying to align with this manifestation will be kind of letting go of any pain from the past based on this 7 and 8 of Swords energy. Being open to the future, really opening your heart, being really generous and giving to this connection. As well as making sure that you've kind of closed the shadow work, especially on any past connections, and that you're really in a place where you can kind of fully commit to your manifestations. This Queen of Wands energy, she's a heavy witch archetype energy. She's very passionate, very courageous. She knows what she wants. She goes after it. She's the embodiment of Pisces and Aries energy. So she's the beginning and ending of the zodiac, and she is a powerful manifester. Her coming out in reverse, like sometimes this refers to an underlying feeling that might be getting in the way of a manifestation, like not feeling like you deserve something, or like maybe being scared to have it or something like that, which is why being clarified by this Hermit energy, it's important to do any shadow work that might be in the way of this manifestation materializing, like leading up to this full moon. And if like you're struggling to kind of feel that or see that, the full moon will definitely reveal it. So even if this person doesn't come in at the full moon, you should have what's kind of blocking you revealed to you around that time. But yeah, I would say, like, based on a lot of these energies here, it feels like a very powerful, very positive, very romantic, very generous, giving, emotionally connected kind of relationship for sure. This 10 of Wands energy, this is Saturn in Sagittarius energy, and this is all about kind of engaging in in the context of this reading, engaging in a connection that is not based on kind of old patterns, but is based on kind of new patterns in the direction of your own healing, and definitely having essentially the right attitude and the right determination to kind of put in the work and make manifest exactly what it is that you want. Let's see if there's anything else in the cards. Okay, they were very quick to come out. Yeah, okay, so we have Page of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. So the Page of Pentacles is a card that has a lot to do with manifesting and persistence. So if a new lover or an old lover or whatever it is something that you're manifesting at this time, stay like on track, stay persistent, stay really receptive and responsive to any of the signs the universe is giving you in order to align with what it is that you desire. This 10 of Cups is a powerful happiness and alignment card. It's usually refers to energies manifesting in a tangible form when it comes to love, psychic abilities, relationships, and all that sort of stuff, like very emotional kind of relational energies. So I would say that it's very likely that this connection will like fully fledged manifest based on like this full moon energy and or like your work in this full moon to align with your person. Like there's huge opportunity to use this new moon energy, to use this heavy kind of Lovers card, Chariot card kind of vibe to the moon to manifest the person that you desire. So yeah, like take full advantage of it. Because yeah, everything that you want, it feels like, is going to be fulfilled. This is heavy 11th house energy, so for Virgo risings, like this definitely could be kind of stronger for you guys. Do we have any other houses? So we have heavy 6th house energy, which is Aquarius rising. They're probably not going to be here unless they chose based on their sun sign. I think that's it. That's all the major arcana in this. Oh, and Capricorn risings, which should also be here. So this will be probably most intense for Virgo and Capricorn risings, as well for any Aquarius suns that found themselves, any sun signs that found themselves here that are also an Aquarius rising. Okay, so we have Hand of Cards. This is our first love oracle. So this refers to taking a chance, taking a risk, but also being like quite strategic about how you play things out. It's very likely that the person that you're manifesting might not immediately show their hand to you. They might not immediately show you how they feel. So there's an element of like, it's not playing the game, it's just being kind of just not cautious even. It's about kind of letting things play out the way that they need to, and also like surrendering any desire to kind of know the outcome, or surrendering any desire to kind of know how this person feels prematurely. Like you don't really need to know how they feel, like you just stay in how you feel. You keep using those feelings to manifest, and you just kind of like focus on your vibe, focus on your energy that you're putting out, and like don't worry about them too much. Like everything will kind kind of come in exactly as it needs to. So we've got the Boat card, which usually refers to receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure of issues. So if there's any issues that are preventing this manifestation from coming in, those issues are going to close. If not before the full moon, around the full moon, you'll have some opportunity presented to you to close like kind of past issues that you feel are kind of holding you back. Know that you'll receive all you need to do that work, to do that kind of heavy shadow Virgo energy work. Like you won't need to go out of your way. It'll kind of like naturally present itself to you. And yeah, just like really trust the process, trust that everything will arrive in the right time. So we have a seduction card, which is all about kind of fun, flirting, hooking up, temptation, which can also be this devil card energy. So there's probably going to be quite a sexual energy. We also have hammer and love. So the love is unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. Like you'll probably be super attracted to this person. And if this is not ready to fully manifest for you, like definitely this self-love will manifest for you around the full moon in a like deeper way, so that you'll be able to like build something with someone when they arrive. Like you'll be so ready for that. Okay, so this discernment card probably has a lot to do with this hand of cards card. Just like be discerning about where you're putting your attention and energy more so. Like you can take risks and put yourself out there and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, just being super discerning. Make sure you're nourishing yourself first, that the cup is full of self-love before you like worry about how someone else is feeling. Yeah, and just like wait for things to come into fruition, because it seems like they definitely are. There's definitely a lot kind of building for you guys, manifesting for you guys, that you should be like really excited about, essentially. Do we have any more oracles, please? So we have confidence is your key to success. So I'd say like a little piece of this, like not worrying about what anyone else is feeling, like a little bit of that is just like be confident in this process. Like you're getting this huge confirmation now that everything's manifesting. So be confident in that. Like you don't need any kind of very masculine 3D proof to know that this is what's happening for you. So just be confident, especially if you used your new moon to manifest a connection like this. Like just have so much faith, and all of your dreams will 100% come true. Do we have any more oracles, please? So there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, especially if you've been feeling a little bit dark. Know that there's a light coming in to penetrate the darkness, and that a lot should be shifting at this full moon. Okay, so we have your last affirmation. I am fearless in the pursuit of what I desire. So there's probably gonna, this connection might ask you to adopt a little bit more fearlessness and confidence than maybe what you're kind of feel ready for. But I think you're more ready than you realize. And I think everything's aligning for you in a more beautiful way than maybe you would even think. So really be fearless, trust this process, let things unfold. And yeah, just wait for the magic to happen, essentially, because it is coming in. But I think I'm gonna take that candle's cue. It's time for us to wrap up here. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed, or I hope you were entertained at the very least. It's been a pleasure reading for you. My name is Jade Wilding, and I would love if you could like, comment, and subscribe to see me on your feed again very, very soon for another intuitive tarot card reading. And also to put me on the feeds of others who might need to hear these messages. But until I see you again, ciao. Hi, air rising signs. So Gemini rising, Aquarius rising, and Libra rising signs. You all have your Cancer sign ruling a career and money related house for you guys. So this Cancer full moon in particular is more likely to affect you in more of like a career money way rather than a self or relationship way. But that's not to say that it won't affect relationships at all, because like these are heavy kind of related energies being activated. So you might find that there's some kind of cross-pollination between kind of career enhancing relationship energies as well as maybe personal relationship energies as well. So yeah, just kind of play it by ear. We'll see what comes out of our reading to see how this full moon in Cancer particularly is going to affect you guys. So let's get into our traditional tarot reading. Okay, so starting off strong with some Hermit energy. Could we just have messages for our air rising signs, please? I know this is annoying, watching me get like finicky with this. I'm a Virgo rising, what can I say? Can I please clarify this Hermit energy, please? So you guys might not find that too much physically happens in this time for you guys, but a lot will be shifting in terms of where you feel kind of inspired and motivated, for sure. Like something will shift kind of more internally than externally at this Cancer full moon. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles both in reverse, and Pentacles is usually a suit that references things actually physically changing. The only upright Pentacles card is the Four of Pentacles, which is a very kind of secure, stable energy anyway. So this often refers to things kind of being quite cozy and comfortable physically. We also have this Hermit card, which usually reflects some sort of like period of introspection, shadow work, or kind of getting in touch with yourself. It's heavy Virgo energy, a very self-reflective energy. And a lot of what it seems like is going to be coming up for you guys is Cups energy. So because this is a Cancer full moon, it's a very feely kind of energy. Probably what's going to come up for you is a lot of your either psychic sensations or kind of personal feelings of like happiness and alignment when it comes to more of your kind of career and money kind of energies, especially because this new full moon, is happening in your kind of career and money houses. So it's very likely that you'll be confronted with themes of kind of figuring out who are your people, like who are the people that really have your back, who support you, especially in the workplace, but probably also more generally. The Three of Cups is usually more of a friendship kind of love and relationship, and the King of Cups is someone who is so supportive, so empathetic, so there for you, a really good container, can really hold space, but is also a really good kind of guide and mentor, and really supports you kind of on the spiritual path, like wants you to kind of pursue your heart's desires. It's got this kind of like Pisces connotation to it, and it's definitely someone who kind of can show you the way out of the darkness, kind of, especially clarified by this moon energy, which has to do with like your personal emotional world, deep feelings, especially feelings that are hidden in the unconscious. The moon rules Cancer, and Cancer rules the 4th house of family, origin, conditioning, inner child, and a lot of the things that could be hidden in the unconscious, like based on kind of the brainwave patterns of when we experienced it. Like we might not necessarily remember these things, but they're very ingrained in our body. So yeah, it's likely that you'll be figuring out like kind of who's good for that like truth, who's good for that inner child, who's good to be around, who lights you up, who motivates you, and who kind of really gets you on a really deep fundamental level. This 10 of Cups energy, this is traditionally kind of all about alignment and happiness. So if there's any way where you're feeling a little bit misaligned with anything, especially career-wise, but I would say more to do with the people that you give energy to on the day-to-day, especially out in the world, kind of in that money-making mindset. If there's anyone that's like kind of bad for you, it's probably a good time to let them go. This Judgment energy, this is heavy Pluto energy. The Judgment card likes to destroy anything that isn't aligned with love to make room for things that are better aligned with you and better aligned with love. So I would say these energies will definitely be asking you to kind of let go of some stagnant energy, anyone who's not serving you, to make room for kind of better, especially people that care about you more. This Queen of Pentacles, she's a very nurturing, mothering, maternal kind of energy. This may be something potentially that you might be lacking, that you might want to invite in this time, especially just given these energies that are going to be active in the full moon. Like it's a really good time for manifesting something like that, because the 4th house has a lot of maternal, mother kind of femininity, especially like kind of finding your feminine circle kind of connotation. So you can definitely find a better team and support network. If you are in a more masculine kind of field, you might find yourself being more drawn to more feminine ways of attracting money, especially Gemini risings, because this is happening in your 2nd house, which like for me is more of an attracting money kind of energy. Kind of Aquarius risings with this in the 6th house is kind of the same. The 10th house Libra risings is more working for your money, so I would say this would apply to Gemini and Aquarius risings a bit more. This kind of like attracting money business at this time at least. So yeah, if that's calling you, maybe spend some time like really thinking about that, like maximizing this kind of Gemini connotation and like kind of figuring out practically like how you would actually go about that. It's probably going to be a good time to get kind of inspired and to feel really creative and to kind of see possibilities maybe where you couldn't in the past. So definitely maximize on that energy, use it to your advantage, and definitely kind of reflect a lot in this full moon to figure out where you're going next. It might be worth using the next new moon, which is in Aquarius, I think, to manifest whatever it is that kind of comes out of this kind of peak pivotal energy, and to really set that intention at the new moon to start doing some of that work in the next moon cycle. But I think that's all that's important out of those cards. Okay, so you might find that you're having your will tested a little bit throughout this period, just based on kind of this reshuffling energy. Also, this might refer to the ego struggling to let go of some connections, and almost needing proof that a better connection is going to replace it before they'll be willing to do it. That's not how it works though. Like you take action now and then see the benefit later. Like you have to make space for something better to come in before that something better will find its way to you more often than not. So it's really about kind of trust and surrender to the divine rather than looking for proof early on, because that kind of essentially blocks your manifestation. It puts energy in the way, at least. We have a new start is coming in these domains for you for sure. But yeah, take time to breathe out, especially if like kind of the path forward isn't clear yet. Just like meditate on it, do some breath work, like center yourself, find some grounding, to like use this kind of peak energy to kind of look for that inspiration and creativity rather than just moving forward without some sort of like guidepost. Okay, so this moon energy will be really powerful for you. It's a good time to ask for help, to reconnect with anything that you feel like you might have lost, especially if that kind of like being in a masculine field and disconnected from the feminine energy resonates, or something along that in that like same vein. It's likely that you'll be able to reconnect with that heavily at this time, just based on the energies of the new moon. I mean, full moon, sorry. I think I've done that a few times in this reading. Do we have any last affirmations for our air rising signs, please? Okay, so we have I allow transformation and I flow with each phase. So this can definitely be a deeply transformative phase for you if you like really flow with it and surrender to it. And yeah, expect things to like definitely not go according to plan, but know that there's a reason for anything that happens in this time, in terms of like shifting and jiggling things around to actually become more aligned with yourself. But I think I'm going to leave that here. I think that's everything that we like really wanted and needed to cover today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you were entertained at the very least. But I would love if you could like, comment and subscribe. And whether I see you again on another video or I see you again in some other capacity. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao. Hi, Cancer risings, Aries risings, Scorpio risings, and Leo risings. It's very likely that this Cancer full moon for you guys will affect you in more of a personal development, self-identity kind of way, given that it's happening in those kinds of houses for you guys. So if you want a little bit more detail about the kind of more specific flavor that this full moon will have for you, you can check the description box for some more buzzwords about the house that your Cancer placement is in. But we'll get some messages from our traditional tarot regarding how this energy is going to affect you, because this full moon has a very kind of like Lover's card Chariot connotation to it. A lot of it has to do with kind of healing inner child stuff, letting go of wounds from the past, moving forward from a place of kind of like higher consciousness and less ego, as well as a better ability to align with your higher self and more like loving perspectives and higher perspectives in life. But we'll get into our reading using our traditional tarot. That's going to get in the way. Spirit, could I please have some messages for our Cancer, Aries, Scorpio, and Leo risings, please? Could you clarify the Six of Swords energy, please? Interesting that the Chariot came out. And the Queen of Swords, please. Okay, so for you guys specifically, it's very likely that if there's anything that's affecting your long-term commitments or relationships, possible marriages, or anything like that, something will shift in this full moon in Cancer for the better for you guys. That should, in all likelihood, either kind of align you with a kind of like more soulmate connection, or your ability to be in a more soulmate-like connection, regardless of kind of whether you're in a connection now or not. There's definitely going to be some shifts in perception and some shifts moving forward that will allow you to move from a more conscious place, a place that's much kinder to the inner child, especially the wounded inner child. So anything from your inner child that kind of needs to be healed or kind of feels like it's at the surface, this full moon will be a really good time to really address that healing so that you can move forward more consciously in life. The Six of Swords is traditionally kind of a moving energy. The Six of Wands is too. This is a kind of feeling the fear and doing it anyway and feeling confident in yourself. I would say in this context, it's more like trusting yourself to be the parent of your own inner child and letting yourself kind of guide your inner child moving forward with these energies. It seems like there'll be, based on this Cancer-y energy and this like Gemini connotation to it, you'll probably be able to perceive and sense things that you have not been able to see. Like you'll be able to see deeper truths of your situation and opportunities for your own healing that maybe were not really on the surface before this full moon, but based on this full moon energy will kind of come to light. It will probably have to do with people in your life in some way. This Pentacles energy a lot of the time refers to like family, like there's a very family connotation to Pentacles suit. So like that if there's any contributions to kind of who you are today from your family, especially given this fourth house of the home connotation to this full moon, sorry, you should be able to perceive them. The like barrier to not being able to perceive them will be like definitely thinner at this time. You'll be able to see things kind of for what they truly are. So in the new moon, it might kind of start out a little bit opposite to that. So we have the Seven Wands and High Priestess in reverse. Like sometimes these refer to like maybe having things in the unconscious that you're not seeing. And the Seven of Wands energy, given that it's a Mars in Leo energy, when it comes out in reverse, sometimes it's a warning that there's some sort of like egoic veil or story that's currently kind of distorting the truth in some way. So I'd say based on these energies coming out all in reverse that, yeah, this kind of revelation will be very new, like something that you weren't necessarily looking for will be revealed to you in this time that you haven't necessarily been able to see before because it's been covered up by some sort of illusion from the ego, probably some sort of story based on this Five of Swords and Eight of Wands energy. This Eight of Wands energy usually is asking us to slow down, express our truth, and engage in healing, usually in a way that's been prompted by external forces. Like usually there's healing involved that's brought on by external forces. Like that might be this moon energy, or something might physically happen in your reality that's going to reveal these things to you. And then this Five of Swords energy usually deals with grief, toxicity, and having to move on, kind of start a new kind of paradigm, especially starting new paradigms free from any ego stories that have been holding you back. This Five of Swords does refer to sometimes falling on your own sword when it comes to ego stories, like the ego stories actually distancing you from love in some way. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility. And then with this Emperor energy, like these are both heavy Aries energies. These are both heavy kind of like potentially something new kind of coming in with that Aries energy. It does seem like, especially if you resonate more with this Divine Feminine energy, that a partnership with a kind of more spiritual, more enlightened being definitely will be possible based on these unconscious patterns that are being revealed to you, and your ability to kind of clear them. This Wheel of Fortune, when it comes out in reverse near a kind of like wish fulfillment partner energy usually refers to some sort of healing that needs to take place before a true soulmate can manifest. And yeah, for you, there's definitely something blocking you from being able to be in a long-term committed relationship to the level that you want. Like, you could be in one, easy peasy, but the level that you truly desire is kind of like asking for a higher version of yourself, probably a version of yourself that is on a different paradigm than what you were maybe brought up with, or just like more healed, less toxicity, less kind of illusion, ego story, like all that sort of stuff. And that's kind of on the path that you seem to be on. This Nine of Wands energy is a moon in Sagittarius energy, and it asks us to establish boundaries and then stay within those boundaries. So that might be a theme that you find comes up for you in this time, in order to kind of align you with this true soulmate kind of energy. And if you're already partnered, then this is probably like deepening the connection with your current partner to the level that you truly desire. If you're unpartnered though, it's more about like being able to attract in that person based on you kind of already being at that level. So in terms of oracles, we have new beginnings, some necessity to like really focus on the outcome, and release any resistance that's currently holding you back, or that you find holds you back at this full moon peak. Know that your hard work is paying off though. Like, all the work that you've been doing up until this point is definitely kind of like shedding back layers and allowing more to be revealed to you, and you're just going deeper and deeper with your own healing. But yeah, it's important to bring love into the situation. I think this whole full moon energy will definitely expand your ability to bring love into like situations just in general. Okay, so we also have motivation. It's probably, I would say this full moon for you probably won't be super light and easy like some others, just like based on all the themes that came out in the cards. So it's probably going to be some necessity to kind of like use a bit of willpower to get you through and to yeah, kind of make it out to the other side, given all this energy. And it's quite intense energy, it's a little bit heavy, and it's dealing with lots of things in the unconscious, which is great because ultimately it's getting you to a place where you're more kind of in control from a really divine place, and that you're much more perceptive and in tune and aware. But yeah, it just might not necessarily be an easy full moon for you based on these energies. Do we have any more affirmations, please? So we have, I forgive the hurt that has been done to me. I step away from the prison of resentment. So this will definitely have to do with anything in the unconscious that's probably being held onto from a place of like either fear, resentment, abandonment, like something like that, that probably needs to be forgiven within the family, like unit, family of origin, roots kind of energy. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. I hope you got everything that you wanted and needed out of this reading. It's been a pleasure reading for you. My name is Jade Wilding, and I would love if you could like, comment, and subscribe so I can see you again in my feed for another intuitive tarot card reading very, very soon, and so that more people can find this channel. But until I see you again, ciao.